Okay, I need to share. Hello, for those of you who are joining, I am sharing so we can have people join. It's Facebook. Do Twitter. And one more. Okay. I think I've now covered all the bases. And I don't have anybody watching yet, but that's okay. We're going to have people watching probably. It's a little late for me. It's 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And if you're watching in the replay or if you join a little bit later and then you watch the beginning in the replay, I am still going through stuff in my room. I've got some cubbies and some notebooks and stuff like that. I'm finding a few books here and there. I found my art desk easel, and I've been going through a few things and doing some cleaning. I went grocery shopping today, and I've done some cleaning in the house like other places. I've done some journaling a little bit, some bullet journaling and some planning, and I'm trying to get ready for April. And so we got quite a bit going on. Let me see if there's one other place I need to share. No, I think I've covered all the bases. So today's coffee chat isn't going to be very long unless people join, but I just kind of wanted to do a bit of an update. My hair is doing this there. I've been slowly but surely getting back. Hello. I've been slowly but surely getting back into the swing of things as I go through little bit at a time in my room, and I arrange things. Hello. And get things going in here, really getting things organized. I've rearranged a few shelves over here, and I'm working on things bit by bit, trying to get everything organized and ready so that I can do a room tour. My daughter and I were talking when Victor was really little. She had this, I guess it was like a spongy floor thing that covered the carpet. It was like big puzzle pieces. And while Dave and I were at Aldi's earlier today, we saw one that's kind of like meant to be a yoga mat or a workout mat. It was 4 large pieces and they fit together like a puzzle, which if it was a little bit bigger would probably have fit well in here. I want something that I can roll around with my chair in here, because this weekend when I take my mom back home, we take her back home and we take the furniture. We're going to have a different dining room set, so I won't have this extra chair in here, and I'll be rolling my chair back and forth. And I thought about just getting one of those clear white plastic things that you know, that sit at your desk that you roll your chair over. But the carpet in here is really old. It's shag carpet and it's got ink stains on it from moi. And I thought, until we can replace the carpet, why not just go ahead and get one of those things? So this Friday or next Friday, depending, I will be getting one of those, something to put down on the floor. But until then, I'm still going through things, because I don't want to just put everything back in here that I had in here if it doesn't bring me joy. I'm slowly but surely going through things so that I'm actually only putting stuff in here that really brings me joy. And then I'm also, once I get everything from the rest of the house, the purple room and the dining room, which are storing some of my stuff, I'm going to be going through the closet and getting rid of some things. Hello. I saw quite a few things that would make things easier for storage, but right now, until I've got to fix my car. So my car is the next thing, and we need to fix my dad's truck. We are seriously, David's truck's having some issues too. So on our agenda now is to fix vehicles. So I won't be purchasing anything else for the room. This is truly the rest of my depth year. But I had to redo some stuff in here. I've been on YouTube now for quite a while, and I've been in different places in the house. And this is specifically my room. Now, later on, if my channel really grows, if Patreon really grows, then I'm going to end up with like a shed or a she cave or something. But for now, it's this room, and this room's kind of small, but it will work. I do, however, think I want to readjust where my uh, desktop is because of the background view. I don't like the door being right there. I've got to figure something else out. Um, yeah, David's heater coil is going, and my engine's making a funny sound. I'm going to go change the oil Friday. I put that off. I'm not the only one who's been putting it off, but I have put it off, and I'm finally going to go get that done. I've only put it off by a couple of weeks, but it needs to be done. And then I think we're going to check into getting a tune-up, and I need to either replace my door or replace everything that's inside of the door. But we'll see. We're still trying to figure things out. It's always something. Every time you get like one area of your life going really well and you get things situated, then something else happens. And it's okay. But we're working on things slowly but surely. I have some stuff in our bedroom. I'm going through shoes and clothes as well. And we're doing little bits by little bits because Dave and I were talking, and after getting a lot of this room organized and done, we realized how important it is in such a small house for things to really be organized. And David's really seen what a big deal having the lighter furniture can do. I would like to paint my furniture. My furniture is cherry wood, and I've had the dresser and the high boy and the nightstand since I was 18 or 19 years old. I bought it. It was the first piece of furniture. It's Broyhill furniture. It's really nice. It's gorgeous, gorgeous cherry wood, but some of it's got some scratches because I'm 51 and I've had it since I was like 19. It's a high boy it's high. It's like mine has doors that open, and it has I used to put my sweaters inside of it. Right now it has our flat screen inside of it. And then it has a single drawer that pulls out. That's supposed to be your lingerie drawer. And then you have two big drawers on the bottom. Some people have lots of drawers. Your hubby's building you a desk. Yeah, we thought about taking an old door and building me a desk with shorter file cabinets. But then I ended up with this big table and didn't need it. And David has several times said, "Are you sure you don't want to just get rid of that big craft table, that real big table, and get you something, I'm like, no, I don't. I like this because the legs are iron. It's a wardrobe. Yes, some people call them a wardrobe. I actually have a wardrobe, an old wardrobe. It's not the one that I wanted to inherit, but it's one I did inherit. And I want to restain it and put new mirrors on the front of it. But I would like to redo it and redo my furniture in my bedroom white because our room is small, and I think the white would brighten it. And I'm not a big fan of white furniture, but I wouldn't mind distressing it a little. And David's like, "You're not painting that furniture. If you want to, we'll go get new hinges. We'll replace the drawer handles and the hinges and put like pewter or silver so it will brighten it up." He said, "But we're not painting that furniture." So he wants the walls in the bedroom to sort of be a dark blue. And I'm like, we can't paint walls a shift robe. Yeah. Can't do dark colors. Look at how the purple room looks in a small space. It will make the room look even smaller. So I said, we're going to have to find, so we've decided sort of on a silvery gray color, a soft gray, and with a cool tone. And we have a comforter that's a really dark blue. There is something religious about painting good wood. That's David's thing. And our cabinets in our kitchen are oak, and they're real oak. And I have the same issue with them. It's so dark in the kitchen that I want to paint them. David refuses. So, as a compromise, we're going to redo the handles and the hinges, and we're going to change them to like a silver or a pewter, because that brightens up the space. A lot of what I have, my furniture and what's in this house, are from the 80s, and it's that brass color, which is really dull, sort of, and it's the bronzy, brassy, I don't know what it's called, but it's dark and somber looking. So I want to brighten up the rooms in the house. And so we've come to a compromise, because I will paint furniture in a heartbeat. But yeah, but I understand where he's coming from with the furniture. It is beautiful, beautiful wood. However, everything in your house is white. I don't like white walls. I despise white walls. And our bedroom is the only room in the house that still has white walls. Our bedroom and we have a little half bath in our bedroom. And that's the only place that has white walls left. I want to redo the purple room. We're going to paint a blue over it because David wants blue. But because the purple is so dark, we've decided to do a much lighter blue. And I told him I wanted to, that's going to be him and Victor's room, and then the baby. But yeah, I think updating the hinges and the drawer handles on all of our furniture and on the cabinets in the kitchen will make a big difference. I did it in the big bathroom because the big bathroom had oak. And when I put the silver knobs and the drawer handles on it, it made such a big difference. I did paint it white in the bathroom. I did paint it because it had gotten really messed up. The oak had gotten really messed up. So I sanded it and then I painted it. I primed it and then painted it. And I did the same thing in our little bathroom. I redid the counters, the top of the counters in our big bathroom. Your house just got painted walls in the last few years. Yeah, I lived in apartments for a long time as a single parent. I lived in different apartments. When Dave and I met, I was living in an apartment. You can't paint the walls in apartments. When you're renting space, you can't. And I was like, and my mom, I think my wall in my bedroom when I was growing up was little. At one time, I had a canopy bed at one time. My wall in my bedroom was yellow at one time. It was pink at one time. It was gray at one time. I think it was pale blue at one time. My mom did pastels, and I'm not a pastel person. I like bold, bright, cool colors, though. Like on a wall, I want cool colors, which is why the purple room didn't work very well for me, but this room does work really well. This has a blue and a green undertone. Your bedroom is the only room that isn't natural. Neutral. I think that's neutral. Yeah. I'm not a big neutral person. Our living room is neutral. It has a mocha latte kind of color. It's a khaki and it's a flat paint. I wish we hadn't had flat paint. That's okay. I just wanted to make sure it was neutral and not natural. I like natural wood too. But in our living room, we have latte color, and then our couch is a paler color of that. And then we have red accent stuff. Like I have pillows that have red in it. I have a few things that are like lamp shades that are red. Red is any shade of red except orange, red. I love red. And red's a good accent color. I asked David about switching and going to blue, and he said, no, we don't have to go to blue. But we have like sort of almost a music theme in our living room. Your living room is lime green with purple and blue accents. Oh, your living room is a dark red. My dining room is a dark red. And our kitchen, I have these cute little white curtains that have that French chef on there, and we have white. The in between the cabinet and the counter is white, and our counters are that vanilla color. I would eventually like to get butcher block put on our counters or redo our counters. Haven't quite made up my mind, but I want to eventually redo the tops of our counters. It's just, I think ours is just that laminate or whatever, but yeah, so I've been working on the room. I've pulled in some more stuff here. David still hasn't had a chance to hang the little red shelves. I was watching Draw with Jazza, and he made the collage wall, which is sort of what I was thinking about doing. When I watched his, I was like, see, it will work. It will work. Is a blue light. Oh. And what I was thinking about doing is making a collage. I'm putting the puzzle together with the typewriter, but that puzzle has little tiny pieces, and I wish it had bigger pieces. So I have the thing to put on the wall up there, but I need to get a frame for it. And I really didn't want it to say happiness is a warm puppy, but it did. I had specifically asked if it could be customized, and they never answered me, and they ended up sending me that. But I like Charlie Brown, so I'm going to put it up there. It's watercolor. And then I'm going to redo the wall in here. Up here, and I guess we'll see. I think hopefully as we fix things up in the house and get vehicles fixed, and eventually over the next couple of years, I'll be able to eventually get a shed and actually move into that where I have a lot more room, and I can dedicate a space specifically for the background in videos. I'm still kind of figuring things out. I've got to do a better adjustment. I've got to do a better adjustment with a few things. Like I said, I want to figure out how to do the desktop in a better area or something. I've got the shelf to put up over on the other desk so that I don't have that issue. Oh, we got more trolls. Yeah. I tell you. So I'm working on stuff in the room, and I feel like every time I come across like little bits and pieces, I'm like, oh, I forgot I had that. Or, oh, I can't believe I kept that, which is really helpful because I'm going through stuff. I'm going through stuff and kind of figuring things out. I like how my room is coming together though. Like I have a reading section. It's a Maya shade darker than what is on the walls in the room you're in. Oh. Yeah, I love, I don't remember if this, I want to say this paint might have come from Sherwin-Williams, but I'm not positive. But I don't remember what color it is, but I really like the color. Really like the color. So, it pops really, the red really pops well, but the color itself is really soothing. And David and I talked, and we're going to take the back paneling out of that bookcase so that the wall shows through, so that's not so dark back there. You wish you had a room for just your creativity? This would be a great room if it were just for my writing. If it were like, if I just had the writing desk and the bookcase in here and it was just for writing, or if it was just for art. But because I have writing and art and everything in here, it makes it, it makes it I have 2 large Billy bookcases in here, and it's filled. They're both filled. And then I have that bookcase with books, and then I have books in here, and then I have books in 2 bookcases out in the house. So I have a lot of books, and I actually need like one wall that's nothing but bookcases with books, and I'm getting there. like I'm getting things organized, but I feel like I still have a long ways to go. And I think the reason I still have a long way to go um, is that it feels like because I'm still kind of going through things little by little, it's taking a lot longer than if I went through it all at once. But I know if I go through it all at once, I'm going to get stressed out and overwhelmed, and then that won't work. So I'm just getting bits and pieces. Hello from England. I like the idea of taking the backing off too. It's too dark with the backing on it. You always laugh at yourself. There are full bookcases in every room of your house except the bathroom. Well, you know, I used to have a magazine rack that stayed in the bathroom. Everywhere else I lived, I had a magazine rack, and they would have magazines and whatever. Like, I read different books. Like, I read a fiction book. Right now, I'm reading... Okay. I just finished a fiction book. So, my fiction book is... I'm reading Fairies. I'm reading Lunar Abundance, which is underneath my easel. I'm going back through the everyday sketching and drawing, as well as the Watercolor with Me book by Dana Fox, I think is her name. So I'm about to pick a new fiction book. So I read a lot of different books and in different genres. Like, I make sure to read fiction and nonfiction. So I just finished a fiction book, so I'm about to read another fiction book. And I have some fiction books that I have not read. So I think I'm going to go through one of the series, some of the books that I haven't read. Like, I have some books by Tom Knox. I have The Marks of Cain and The Genesis Secret. And then he has one other one, and I've got to find that one because I have three of them. The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. I'll look that up. You have bookcases that you need to clean up and paint them and put them back in your room. You always laugh at yourself. Yeah. I don't see how people declutter all at once. Baby steps. Yeah. I couldn't declutter. I couldn't do it. I started, and then I was like, I got super overwhelmed. But as I go through, and I go, I'll have I'll have a book in like every room. Thank you. As I go through room to room, like, I'll have a book in the bathroom. Well, I don't have in our bathroom now, our master bathroom, our main bathroom. It's too little for a magazine thing. So when I go in there, if I want to take a bubble bath and read for a little bit, okay. All right. I reported him. Yeah, I just reported him. So part of what I'll do is read a bunch of different kinds of books, and it depends on what mood I'm in as to what I pick up to read. Now, some of the books that I'm doing, I have a book right now that I just picked out that's a fiction book, and it's sitting on my coffee table. And then the art kind of books stay in here, and then some of the other books kind of follow me around depending on where I'm at in the house. But I feel like a really good thing happened whenever we went to IKEA and we started really looking through what IKEA had and figuring out what would be best, because we did shop at thrift stores first. I did go to Rehabitat. I did go to Goodwill. I did go to other thrift store. We did go to a few other places. I even looked on Marketplace and Facebook and some of the buy-sell trade groups locally where I live to see if I could find. We don't have an IKEA either. We had to drive to Charlotte, it was about a 2-hour drive for us to go to IKEA. It took us a little bit longer to get home because of the traffic, but so when I started thinking, and it was much cheaper to go to IKEA and buy the stuff than it was to order it from Amazon. So we don't have a Daiso. We used to have a Tuesday mornings, but we don't have one anymore. IKEA is a great place for inspiration. It is very big and it is a bit overwhelming. Um, but I searched out. I couldn't believe that there was none at IKEA in Columbia or Charleston in South Carolina. No, not even Greenville. I mean, Columbia is the capital of South Carolina, and Charleston is like the tourist spot for South Carolina. Charleston and Myrtle Beach, and no IKEA. So, but eventually I'll go back. My daughter and I want to go back. And once I get my dad's truck on the road and I know it's really road worthy, my daughter and I will be taking a trip to IKEA. So we have a Tuesday morning and you love it. I wish we used to have one. We don't have one anymore. We don't have a Target. We don't have an Olive Garden. We have a Starbucks and we have a Logan's and an Outback, Applebee's, Ruby Tuesdays. We have a Belk's and a JCPenney's in our little tiny mall. You have everything but an IKEA. But I have to drive to Columbia or to Charleston to go to the bigger places like Old Navy and Target and stuff. Yeah, we don't have a Target. Have a Walmart and a Michael's. And our Michael's is small. Our Michael's doesn't always carry stuff that everybody else is getting from Michael's. It took 4 years. I've been on however long I've been doing art journaling on that. They just now this past year got the water brushes at my Michael's. They just now got them. Just now got them. So I have to either order from online or drive to Columbia or Charleston. If I go out and I'm going by myself, I go to Charleston because that's where I'm from and I know my way around. However, if I'm going with my daughter or with David, I'll go to Columbia because yeah, I have Amazon Prime and I get a lot of stuff from Amazon Prime. Because we simply don't have that stuff here. I'll go and look at Michael's and see if they have it. But they don't have very much stuff here. And for the time that it takes me to drive all the way to Charleston or all the way to Columbia, I could order it and then I can spend that hour to an hour and 15 or 20 minutes of commute time going there and doing something else, like cleaning my dishes or doing laundry or something else. So I don't always go out to go do that. But we have Michael's, Hobby Lobby, and Joann's. We have just Michael's. Just Michael's. And we used to have an art store here, but it closed, and we don't have an art store here anymore. So, yeah, no Target. Everybody's like, well, you can get it from the dollar spot in Target. I'm like, we don't have a Target. You're in Phoenix. You have 3 Michaels, 3 Hobby Lobbies, and even Joann's with 20 minutes. Oh, man. When I lived in Jacksonville, Florida, I literally could walk to Target. You're in the same boat. An hour and a half to Target, Hobby Lobby. Yeah. People are like, I'm like, where did you get that? And they're like, Target, Hobby Lobby. The Hobby Lobby's got coupons. I'm like, oh, that's wonderful. At Joann's, I'm like, oh, that's wonderful. I've been to a Hobby Lobby when I was visiting my aunts. At that time, both of them lived in Georgia. One of them lived in Auburn, and the other one lived in Snellville. And then my one that lived in Auburn, she worked in Lawrenceville. So we went around Atlanta and stuff like that. And I went to Hobby Lobby and a bunch of different places that we don't have out here. But a lot of those places are in Charleston, where I'm from originally. So I like living out here, though, because I don't have the traffic and stuff like that. But you do have everything has its pros and cons. You will suggest Amazon things. And Target and Belk's and Walmart and Kohl's and JCPenney's. Yeah, we have Belk's and Walmart and JCPenney's. As a matter of fact, I like when Belk's has their big clearance and JCPenney's when they have their big clearances. But I'm into this weird place right now. Like and torrid. I have not been in a torrid. Um, I'm in this weird place right now where I'm starting to lose weight again. Grief and depression, along with menopause, not a good thing. So I had put on some weight, and now I'm starting to lose some weight again, and I'm back to walking and stuff like that. We have, it was a Books-A-Million. Excuse me. Now it's something else. It got bought out. We had a Books-A-Million in the mall, and it got bought out. And I don't know where, what it got bought out to. But anyway, we do have a bookstore. And most of the time, if they don't have it, they can order it. But I'm trying to lose weight. Right now I wear a size 12, and I was starting to kind of push out of 12s, and I'm like, I'm ready to get out of the double digits. I'm 5'2", and I need to be around in a size 8. I'm okay with a 10, but I'm not okay with a 12, with a 14. For my body size. It's not that I don't mind being curvy. I don't care about the curvy. I'm not trying to get skinny. I just want to get more fit. And I know that losing some of this water weight and some of this extra weight that I put on because of the depression and the grief and the menopause, I used to be in a 4 or 6. And now I'm like, I just want to get back to where I feel good. So I've decided not to put a number on it, not to put a size. You wish you were a size 12? This is the heaviest I've been other than when I was pregnant with my kids. I used to wear, like I said, a 4 or 6. When I first started doing YouTube, I bounced back and forth between a 6 to a 10. And when I was at my heavier, I was like a 10. And then I moved up to a 12 when I was going through all that stuff with the shoulders and the cyst, and I ended up having to have the hysterectomy. Then I lost weight and I got back down to an 8, and then grief and depression and menopause started. And then I went right back up to a 12. I had gotten back down to an 8. You're too 12. I was up a few months ago. I was in a 14. I just finally got rid of the 14s. You haven't been a 6 since you were a teenager. But I'm thick. I always weigh more than I look like I weigh. Maybe it's, I don't know. But I used to have a really small waist, and menopause now I walk around and I feel like I look pregnant. I have this belly, and I don't know what to do with it. I don't know where it came from. And I'm like, yeah. So I know it was depression though, and I know it was menopause and stuff like that. So I'm on vitamins specifically for me and my age. I have this tea that's specifically for people who are menopausal or premenopausal. I've been drinking that hot tea. I'm taking my vitamins. I'm drinking more water and stuff like that. So, as far as like that, I've actually started to lose some weight. I want to at least once a month do like a walk-in chat. I used to do those a lot on the channel. So I'm going to start getting outside more, and maybe I'll do some coffee chats, some self-care kind of chats while I'm walking. Yeah. I can tell because I'm getting uncomfortable with certain things. Like I feel uncomfortable. So like I said, it's not about the weight and it's not about the size. Although I mentioned the size because I didn't realize when I had gotten at my heavier part before Christmas and stuff, when I was really going through this past year, I got up to a 14. And I was like, my jeans weren't fitting. And I'm wearing leggings, and some of my tops quit fitting. And I'm like, the dryer's shrinking stuff. And David laughed. He said, baby, I don't think the dryer's shrinking stuff. So, I've been drinking more water, and we're back to eating healthier. We went to the grocery store today, and we got stuff that was healthy for us. The only thing that I did get was a little pastry thing, and I'll eat half. for like a little snack. And then probably tomorrow morning, I'll have a banana and then a little pastry and my cup of coffee. This morning when I got up, I had been changing my routine. I drank water. First thing before I even made the coffee, I drank water. And then I did my stretches and I did all of my morning routine. I checked my email. I did some planning. I did some reading, some journaling, the meditation. I took my vitamins and my allergy pill. And I did a tiny bit of art journaling, just a tiny bit. And then I started doing some stuff around the house. And I wanted to do the live coffee chat. I want to do the newsletter stuff too. But I ended up Dave and I went to the grocery store because he had to work tonight. So I didn't have time to do all of it. These are stretches that the doctor told me to do for my shoulders because a few years ago, I had my rotator cuffs and stuff were so bad that I couldn't raise my arms all the way. I could not. David had to take up my shirts off. He had to help me put my shirts on. He had to help me do my bra. It was really bad. And I ended up almost having to have surgery. I went through physical therapy. And I got that done after my hysterectomy. So I went through a lot in a year span or so. But I got better. And I still do those stretches every morning. And then I added what I call my baby yoga to the mix of my shoulder stretches, my shoulder and my neck stretches. And I added what I call my baby yoga, which are just basic stretches, the same stretches you do when you play soccer or when you're going to go running or, that kind of thing, when you stretch out your body. And I do those in the mornings. And if I don't at least do the shoulder stretches and the neck stretches by the later that afternoon, my shoulders and my neck start to get really stiff. So I have to do the stretches. I do a lot of the stretches at night before I go to bed too. And I've been upping my A game with the steps, trying to clean the house and dance and stuff while I'm cleaning the house. I play music if I'm here by myself, and I'll dance and clean. And I used to do stuff like step aerobics and stuff. And I've thought about maybe joining like a Zumba class or something. I don't know. Not a big fan of the gym, but I may end up having to go to the gym for something. So that's pretty much where I'm at. Just getting the room done and journaling and working on some things. I did get, y'all, I'm so excited because Camp NaNoWriMo. So I got some typewriter washi tape and some book washi tape. And I got some little sticker pack of vintage looking like typewriter and stuff like that. And they came from, this is my second order from her, Paper Game. Yeah, papergame.company. I guess she's got her own store, but she's, I think, also on Etsy. It's www.papergame.co. So, but they're really, I have never had any issues. These are just sample washi tapes, so they weren't really super expensive, but I'm excited. I don't order a whole lot of that stuff anymore. I used to have like rolls of typewriter washi tape and coffee cup washi tape and stuff like that. And I don't get it a whole lot anymore because a lot of times like I'll draw the stuff. But this go round for April, I'm doing a book, rain and book and stuff. So I drew what will be my book for April. And this is really busy. After I added all the stars, it ended up looking like super busy. So I'm writing the Witch's Business novel for Camp NaNoWriMo in April. So I did the little witch washi tape. And I'm going to add like little books or typewriters or something like here. Okay, I'm just going to put it down because it's going to fall. I don't know if I'm just going to do stars, or I did my little campfire for the start of Camp NaNoWriMo. I haven't quite figured out because I know I'm going to be really busy and I like to do the art, but I got to thinking, which is why I ordered the washi tape and this kind of stuff, because normally I draw a lot of that stuff myself, but because I'm going to be super busy and I know I'm going to be super busy, I thought, oh, well, you know what? I'm just going to do some little stickers and some washi tape because I've done this part and I made a purple theme. But I chose to do purple and silver and gold and blue because I chose a rain quote. Rainy days should be spent at home with a cup of tea and a good book. I can't wait to buy my book. I can't wait to get my book ready for people to buy. But I wanted, so a lot of my word stuff and everything's going to be in here. I'm just not going to have time to keep up with a writer bullet journal and a bullet journal and all of that. So not in write and everything. So I'm condensing things. You wish you could do something like Camp Nano, but you're not disciplined. You don't have time. I had a friend who journaled during Camp NaNoWriMo, or one of them, and you can do any kind of word count you want. Like you could do, I'm doing, I think it's 1 hour a day is my goal for Camp NaNoWriMo. I'm not doing a word count this time, which is the first time ever for me to do this. So my goal is to work on my writing for at least 1 hour every day during April. Hey, so I thought, you know what? This is I've got my typewriter washi. I've got my little stickers. I've got my little typewriter stickers. I'm good to go. And then I thought I would go by Dollar Tree and get me some little gold stars or some little silver stars. And every day that I write for at least 1 hour, every one star will be 1 hour. And I'm going to put those on my calendar, and I'll get a gold star or silver star every day that I write for at least 1 hour. Stickers for rewards. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I think, I don't know if it's for good, but it might be. A lot of stuff happened. She had a partner, and they screwed her over. And it was pretty bad. So yeah, I never got my dream TN from her. But unfortunately, it is really sad. She's a sweetheart. She is a sweetheart. And she ended up getting married. Her husband's been helping her go through everything and sort it all out. It's been a mess. And she has, she's had a lot to deal with. And she does Comic-Cons and stuff like that. Janelle is a real artist, like a real artist with a capital A. She does all kinds of stuff. So the TNs was like a side thing. It was supposed to be a side thing. She is extremely talented. Her website originally, she had like Comic-Con stuff and all that on there. She does a lot of real artwork. So yeah. I never did get one that was hand-drawn. She did the hand-drawn typewriter for me, but because I could never make up my mind what I wanted. It's so sad. But Monique from Lady Falconers, she is extremely talented, Jelena. She has really, really, she does custom work and she's really talented. I don't have one of hers, but I eventually will get one of hers. I just got to figure out exactly what I want. Because I'm not ordering any more Traveler's Notebooks until I figure out what I really want. South Carolina. One of your favorites, yes. I think we might have a troll. But when I originally was looking at Traveler's Notebooks at my writer's Bible, Monique had a different name, and I had to choose between her or Janelle. And they were both such talented artists. And the only reason in the beginning that I chose Janelle was because of shipping. I wouldn't have had to pay as much shipping with Janelle because I was doing a custom order and it was going to be expensive. And then I would also have had to pay more shipping for Monique's. But I have looked and looked and looked. Morgan Le Fay's. Yes, exactly, John. I was going, it's an M, it's an M. I have looked through, and every time somebody buys one of hers that's a little bit custom, I'm like, I drool. And I'm like, one day, as soon as you figure out what you really want, because it's going to be one, and my goal, once I get my book written and edited, when I get to the point where beta readers are reading my book, my hello, I did it prize is going to be my like fancy, super fancy traveler's notebook. I don't know what I want on it. So that is going to be my reward for getting my book done. So I have some time to figure out what I really want. I would love to have some of the artwork. I like Stephen King's The Gunslingers, the artwork that Michael Whalen did. Probably colors and imagery that inspired your book. Oh, what inspired my book? You'll be a beta reader. There's a scene in Practical Magic. And if I had to pick anything, it would probably be, there's this one scene in Practical Magic with the book, and then there's the scene with their garden, and it's like not when, it's when the garden is all finished and it looks really pretty, but, and I had this image of having tea, like I don't know. It's hard to, in my head, I can see it. But it was a family of witches, and they were out in the garden at the little pretty, and having tea and just conversing about their daily lives in a very normal way, but also in a very witchy way. And so I don't know if that would translate onto a traveler's notebook, but did you just enable me further? One of my favorite movies too. I absolutely love that movie. But if I had to say, hold on, and I'll show you what I've been. It's very similar to what's on the front, but he's different there. He's sitting there. And then there's the one, and it's in a different book, with the Field of Roses. I don't know. I like that. Janelle and I talked about making Snoopy a gunslinger and having Snoopy sort of be in a silhouette, but so we're talking the colors would be that sunset over the water with the tower in the background, like in a shadow, and having Snoopy be the black silhouette, the shape of Snoopy as a silhouette as a gunslinger. But I didn't want it to be cartoony, and as much as I love Snoopy, I don't think I want Snoopy as a gunslinger. And the other favorite. There's another picture somewhere, and instead of rolling, it has the roses and the tower, very similar to what I had a minute ago. But Michael Whalen is the artist who did the work originally for Stephen King's very first Gunslinger book or books. I think of the first couple of them, the first 2 or 3 of them. Michael Whalen did the artwork. I bought my daughter a print by Michael Whalen quite a few years ago before I ever got on YouTube. I found my daughter a print and got it for her because she wanted to be an illustrator because of his work. She was so impressed by his work that she wanted to be an illustrator. She wanted to do illustrations for books. It might be in one of the other books. Yeah, it might be in one of the other books. But he has somewhere, if you look up Michael Whalen and the Gunslinger or Stephen King, you'll see somewhere the field of roses. And you'll see the sunset in the background. And the dark tower. Without being condemning of one's views and by trying to make it up. Okay. But so I'm not sure. And like, I love fairy tale stuff. I love stuff with the fae. So I don't know. That's why I never ordered it from Janelle. She would have done it for me at any time if I'd ordered it. But I never ordered one because I didn't know exactly what I wanted. And I haven't finished my book yet either. So I'm still figuring it out. But I think the sunset probably comes as close to what I would want, because I have this thing with sunsets. Like, I love sunsets. I love a full moon. I love the sky when you can see that. I love that. So if I had to pick, it would be a sunset with all those beautiful purples and indigo and fuchsia and the different subtle colors of gray, and with a little bit of that sun coming through. Yeah. I don't know. Still thinking about it. I know that doesn't seem very writerly, but I have a writer's Bible. So I don't, and it's got the typewriter engraved in it. And so I don't need another writer's Bible. I wouldn't mind having one the size of a composition book, because I do a lot of stuff in the composition book. Sunsets are so pretty. Yeah. And so I don't know. Maybe I'll end up getting a TN, like what I want the cover of, and for the cover of my book. A writer's Bible is a notebook of some kind, depending on how it could be a folder, a binder, a traveler's notebook, anything that you put together. It could be a Scrivener project. If you are a Filofax, whatever, where you have the sections, like if you are writing a series, you need to keep track of characters, settings, dates and times, and something like that. So the reason that people call it's a Bible with a lowercase b, um, it's an instrument by which you keep track of everything. It helps. It's like your grand central station for your novel series. I have my writer's Bible is usually got like different notebooks or in it that are for more specific things that have to do with my writing, because it condenses and it puts it all in one place. Kind of, I think I did just define that pretty well. Yeah, it's something. Well, they have some things. I think Cami Garcia did a video about that, heart breathings, I think, and oh, what's her name? The new one with the red hair that has gotten really big, Kristen Martin. I've had poetry published and short stories published a good while, a long time ago, but I haven't had a book published. But I've had poetry and short stories published and different things way back when I was in high school and in college and stuff. Yeah. Hey, I used to write a lot of poetry and I used to write a lot more short stories, but every once in a blue moon I'll write a poem now. Mostly I work on art and journaling and working on my book and read. I don't have much time to do a whole lot of other stuff between house stuff, family stuff, my writing and my art and journaling and in DIY projects. I don't Patreon and YouTube and trying to get blog posts at least once a week, which I seem to fail to do sometimes. But I can always get it all done. But it's fun to try and it's fun to be creative. And I like being creative in a lot of different ways. So, it's not a thing you do consistently. Yeah. Art used to be the thing I didn't do consistently. I didn't create art for like almost 30 years. And my journals were more kind of like smash book journals. They didn't really have art. They had bits of scrap paper and pictures and receipts and ticket stubs and little bits and pieces like labels or think tags and stuff that came off of clothes or whatever, and journaling, text journaling. So they were definitely more like a smash book without the smash book. And then I started seeing videos where people were adding bits and pieces of art to their journal pages, documenting their day like that. And I was like, oh, I like to doodle. So I started creating art again. And it's a really good outlet for me. It helps release my anxiety and stuff like that. So now writing has become more of my part-time thing, which is good because when writing was more of my full-time thing, I was super stressed out. But writing is my part-time thing, and the art and the journaling and stuff is my full-time thing. And I'm not as stressed out anymore. So it makes the writing much more fun and much more interesting. And I look forward to writing all the time now. Whereas when writing was more of the full-time thing, it stressed me out because I'm a perfectionist, and that was really hard. So I'm about to get off of here. I am going to do a vlog really soon, or a video really soon. I'm going to get the hair products and I'm going to talk about my hair because just recently I had it pulled back in the little ponytail thing and it got so tangled that I almost thought I was going to have to cut. And then I also am going to talk about some of that, and I'm going to do the room tour. I'm trying to get the things together for the newsletter between now and the end of this month so that y'all can get the IKEA edited version of my IKEA vlog with me and David that I put on Patreon. And I'm trying to get the room clean enough and everything and together enough so that I can do an actual room tour. So I've got some stuff coming. If you have an idea or if there's something that you would really like for me to talk about or to do, just let me know. And otherwise, it's 9 o'clock my time. So I got to go in. Use Pantene detangling spray on your long hair. It's a great, great day. Yeah. I used to use Pantene, but Pantene makes my hair shed more. And I'm trying to think. Aussie. I use this one with the little kangaroo on it for the detangling spray. I'm out of that right now. But I hope y'all have a good one. Thanks, y'all.